Hello?
Okay, I filled him in as best as I could.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he's just as confused about this whole process as I am. So he's like, how are they able to like stop the, the auction? How are they able to? And I'm like, you just got to hear him out.
Okay.
Um, so I did tell him I told you about like the air conditioning and the, like the minor things that need to be fixed before. But he just wanted, he's just hearing you out at this point.
Okay. Both y'all are on, you're saying?
No,
Oh,
I'm gonna call him now.
okay.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Uh,
Hello.
yep.
Okay, you're here. It was
Hello.
letting me have one person on hold and not merge the two. I let's
I'm on
see.
here.
Okay. I can hear both y'all.
You can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear both y'all.
Okay,
Okay,
I can't
perfect.
hear him though.
Oh, you can't.
I
Okay.
I I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear him now. Okay,
Alrighty. I think we're all here. If someone doesn't hear me, let me know.
okay.
All right. And I don't know if I caught your name. Is it? I want to butcher that. So,
No, you're
um,
good.
my name's Alex. I think filling you in. We had seen that it was up for auction. The house on or not September, actually, October 6th. So we work locally here in DFW and actually with homeowners all across Texas.
Hmm.
So a little bit about our business. Like one side of our business, we kind of just consult with homeowners that their house is, has an auction date for foreclosure and kind of run through some different options to stay in the house. We do also buy houses, which it sounds like y'all are trying to do that to sell it. So I was speaking about the process and with the auction date and how all that works. So happy to kind of quickly rerun through that process with y'all.
Okay.
And she was letting me know it sounded like someone had made a cash offer, like somewhat recently.
Yeah, it was two different companies, Mark Spain or Swain, and
Yeah.
the other one was I went through. I cannot remember the name of that. I don't know if it was Clever. It was something. I can't remember.
Yeah, no worries.
I have to go in my emails, but it was two separate realtors that came out and brought, the comps and, laid out figures to basically let us know like what the cash offers were. The last person that came out, not Mark Swain or whatever, when he came out, the cash offer that he gave would have covered the balance on the loan. However, he he was stating that because the ACs were old, that that would have to be assumed in that cash offer, which would basically bring the amount that they would pay like lower than what the balance is, which essentially means that we would have to come out of pocket
Hmm.
basically to sell the house. And to me, that's just I don't I don't feel like coming out of pocket thousands of dollars just to sell my house is something that I would want to sign up to do. But the cash
Right.
offer definitely covered the balance at the time. I think the balance was like 324, and I think the cash offer was it was three. If I even still have that paper, his energy was kind of negative too. But I want to say it was I want to say it was like 330 something, or I can't 340 maybe for the cash
Yeah.
offer, but he was explaining that both ACs that's gonna run me about 8 to 10,000 a piece, which brought that cash offer down almost $20,000. So that would have meant that we would have had to come up with about $6 to 8 thousand,
Right.
basically to sell
Which
the
is,
house.
Monisha was telling me that, and I always kind of laugh at that because it's saying the cash offer is this, but we have to replace the AC, so it's really that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Mm.
And what I was explaining to her earlier today, there's obviously a few different ways to sell a house. the way a cash offer works, like we are cash buyers, but we also purchase homes creatively. And what I mean by that is we can take over payments, we can kind of structure deals where you wouldn't have to come out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So like a regular cash offer, the way it works is we would run comps, figure out, what are houses selling for in your neighborhood that are comparable houses. So same bed bath, roughly the same square footage. What have those houses sold for on the market when they're fixed up, meaning the AC works, they're new, it's painted, whatever
Mm-hmm.
updates need to be updated. And then we would take 70% of that and subtract out repairs. And basically every cash buyer is going to operate roughly on that same math. So
Mm-hmm.
that's completely right. Like if we were to make you a cash offer, it would not cover the payoff, which wouldn't benefit y'all in any way, shape, or form. And it's just kind of a waste of everybody's time. Obviously, you could put it on the market. The thing with that is to make that work, you would have to reinstate the loan with your own money and then hire a realtor, go through the whole process of doing showings and all that. And in today's market, not the greatest, especially as you're getting into the fall and the winter. And if you have a AC system that sounds like it needs to be replaced, that's not really going to help anything. And by the time you pay two real estate agents, 3%, then closing costs of 2%, probably end up pretty much in the same basket of I might make a couple grand, but odds are I'm probably going to have to pay to sell my house.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was kind of talking about earlier was we can buy a house by taking over the existing financing. So auctions in 2 months, it's October 6th, so the first Tuesday of October. The way that, this process would work is if we can agree upon a number and it makes sense, great. If not, we can point you in another direction. But what we would do is actually get the house, agreed upon it with a purchase agreement. We send that to title. That opens up the process. They, pull a title commitment, pull a title report, verify everybody's identity. We actually reinstate the loan for y'all, so you wouldn't have to come out of pocket. I think it's like 10 or 11,000
Mm-hmm.
is the reinstatement, roughly around there.
Yeah,
so
it was. Oh, okay. So you have the figures, right?
I was just going based off of what
reinstatement is, or just going based off of what I was saying earlier.
The only person that would know that right now would be y'all. Like the foreclosure notices
Gotcha.
will show like the original loan amount, but it won't show any like updated reinstatements or anything. So I was
Gotcha.
just basing off of our conversation earlier.
Okay.
So we would reinstate that, let's call it 11,000 roughly. And what was the current monthly payment again?
Well, I was on it's technically supposed to be like 25, but there was a repayment plan that I was paying over almost a year of like 38.52.
Okay.
But the actual mortgage is only, I think it goes down in September to 2,300.
2,300.
Yes, because
Okay.
I'm 100% disabled veteran, so I don't pay any, the homestead exempt or the property taxes or something like that. So it's significantly lower, but I think it went down to like 2,300 as of September.
Yeah, because if you have the homestead and the 100% tax, then yeah, it should definitely be quite a bit lower. What's the interest rate right now?
3.5, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to maybe take a look or something at the mortgage statement, but just kind of explaining how this would work. And we buy a lot of houses this way. It's fairly common in off-market real estate is we would actually reinstate that loan and then give you cash on top of that and just buy the house that way, just leaving the financing in place. You guys no longer have responsibility for the house. We own it. We're on the deed. And that way you're not coming out of pocket, one, to reinstate the loan, and two, to sell the place.
Okay. So how? I was kind of confused. So you said you would buy the home, we would get cash for the home. We don't own the home anymore, obviously.
Right.
How does that work?
So right now they have that auction for October, right? So the bank either wants the, let's call it $11,000 reinstatement, or they want the entire house paid off. So
Gotcha.
as it stands right now, since the payoff's like roughly $330,000, no cash buyer is going to be able to buy it, just because that everyone's using the same math. Everyone's probably going to give you an offer for like 225 to 250. So by doing it this way, where we pay the reinstatement, we buy the house, leave the existing financing in place. That way we can get you cash on top of the reinstatement that we're going to pay. So not only do you not have to pay the reinstatement, I don't know how much cash we could give you right now to kind of have to look at the numbers, but we would give you guys, X amount of cash on top of paying the reinstatement, when the deal closes through title. So it's called buying a house subject to the existing financing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay. Now,
Is the
as
official
far as as far as the VA loan and everything that the house is currently financed through, how does that part work? With you guys buying the home, the VA loan would be basically paid off, and now you guys assume the loan. This company assume.
So the whole house wouldn't be paid off. The only way to, pay off the entire house would be to buy it cash. So we wouldn't be assuming the loan. That's actually, it can be a little bit confusing. There are loan assumptions, but that's a very, very long process. This would be just buying it, taking over the existing payments. So the loan would still stay in place, but we own the house with the deed. So the deed and the mortgage are two separate entities. Doesn't matter who's on the mortgage. It only matters who's on the deed. That's who owns the property.
Okay. Gotcha. And how would that affect, like staying in the home, or like what's the, like as far as like the loan length, or like how does that work with you guys with this process? I'm just trying to. There's a lot of information. I'm just trying to make sure I understand everything.
No, you're good. Yeah, fire away on whatever questions. So I guess first off, are you saying how would this affect staying in the home, like physically, like continuing to live there?
Like you mean the move out? Is that what you mean? Like when would we have to be out by? Is that what you're asking? Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So we can kind of close on whatever schedule. Obviously, there's a pretty serious drop dead date of October 6th. We could either close. Typically, it's 30 days to buy a house is kind of the usual from when you get a purchase agreement sent to title to when you actually close. Most of the time, we close quite a bit quicker than that because a lot of times, the 30 days is more so just for like a regular, you buy a house through a realtor type transaction. So we can set a close date for whenever. We could set it for 2 weeks from now. We could set it for a month and a half and close, kind of more towards the end of September. And then if that's enough time to move out, great. If not, we could do what's called a seller's temporary residential leaseback and let you stay in the house a little bit longer. It's really only like 2 to 3 weeks is kind of the max that we can do. The main thing to keep in mind is each day that, you don't sell it, there's more fees, there's more interest. And once you go past September 1st, there's a whole nother mortgage payment that's missed. So your reinstatement continues to grow. So it's a little bit of a trade-off is like, you can wait a little bit longer to close, but the reinstatement's going to be higher, which means you're going to get less cash in your pocket, or you can close quicker and go that route. But we do work with a relocation team. So almost any house that we buy, we always help, the previous homeowner, search for whatever it may be, a new house, rental house, apartment, condo, like whatever you're looking for, we can help you locate that.
Wonderful.
All right. Okay, so you guys would own the home. We could push it to a month and a half at the latest towards move out. We would get, once numbers are in, you would see what amount of money that we would get. I'm just trying to play back everything. And now, as far as you guys, if we go this route, what would I have to do with, like, would I have to contact, like, the VA and let them know that, like, hey, we sold the house, or, like, how does that work?
No. Whether you're selling the house cash or selling the house this way, you'd never get a hold of the mortgage company. That's what the title company's for. in what we do. So like we would get a purchase agreement, say, hey, you know, we're buying the house subject to the existing mortgage. It's just a regular old purchase agreement like you would for any other house. Title gets opened up. They run, you know, title reports, see what liens are on the property, if there's any judgments, if there's, you know, mortgages, things like that. And then on the close date, the house is actually purchased. But to answer your question, no, you mean you don't have to tell. You actually wouldn't want to tell the VA anything. It's just kind of unnecessary, and the title company is the one that kind of handles all that. You know.
Okay.
We would order a. Oh, sorry. I was just saying we would order a reinstatement from, or title would order a reinstatement from the lender, and then, you know, we'd obviously reinstate it, and then the loan's current, and that's all they need to know.
Okay, and as far as like credit, how would that look on our credit, like when it's pulled, like when our credit is pulled?
So in a sale of a house, your credit's not pulled. Your credit right now is definitely, if you haven't looked at it, has, I would assume, taken probably a pretty big hit. Missed mortgage payments are one of the.
No, I mean, like, I know it wouldn't be pulled, like, like, I'm talking about, like, once, if we decide to go this route, how would it show up?
Does it show paid?
Right, yeah. That's kind of what I was building up to that. So, like, right now, your credit's definitely taken a hit from missed mortgage payments. This would actually help your credit a lot, not only because we reinstate the loan, bringing it current, which then brings it out of the foreclosure status. You know, the payments are being made moving forward, so it would build your credit back up pretty significantly. And again, I don't know your credit score, obviously, but anytime you make on-time mortgage payments or on-time mortgage payments are made, like, your credit's going to go up pretty significantly. So it would be a positive thing. Okay.
But it wouldn't show like we owe $330,000 of debt on our credit, I guess.
Oh, like your debt to income ratio?
Yes, basically, like when you have $330,000 worth of debt after we go through this process. Would it show that?
Yep, I completely hear you. So that's a pretty common question. So debt to income ratios, it will show for 6 to 12 months after y'all sell the house. After 6 to 12 months of the payments being made, we use a servicing company to make the payments. So like a lot of mortgage companies, you know, your mortgage company might be Bank of America or whatever, but it's serviced by like Shell Point or New Res or something like that. We use a servicing company as well. So once the payments have been made for 6 to 12 months, it's no longer, I got to word this correctly. The debt to income ratio of your personal debt to income ratio it's not wiped, but it's, I'm trying to articulate this the right way. It's basically clean at that point, if that makes sense. So like if you were to go take out like a loan for a car or whatever, and you have 6 to 12 months of the mortgage is up to date, it's not going to affect your DTI, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay. And then, but the quick response is going to show that it's caught up. Like it's like if we go this route, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the biggest thing is it's just the house would no longer be in foreclosure, right? Because we're reinstating the loan and then buying it, and then we're making the mortgage payment. So you're getting out of the current kind of credit hit that's taken place.
Okay. Okay.
About how long does it take for us to get figures about, you know, like, okay, it would get reinstated, because I've been in contact with the attorneys that have assumed that you know, they're after the debt, so they sent me a payoff. Yeah, the trustee. They sent me a reinstatement fee. I think it was like $9,300. But that was through the 31st of July, and so I'm assuming, you know, like you said, because it's a new month, things have gone up because the new payment is due. They hadn't gotten back with me about the newer figures. Do I just not respond anymore if this is the route we're taking? Do we just like leave it up to you guys, or do we?
So it really anyone can order a reinstatement. Typically, what happens is once we send everything off to title, they get third party authorization from y'all to speak with the mortgage company to order reinstatements or whatever other docs they need. So if you call the trustee or the mortgage company and say, hey, I need an updated reinstatement good through the end of August, they'll give it to you. But we can also do the same from our team, or title can do it. It doesn't really make a difference.
Okay. So going this route, we save all of the showings. We save not having to put it on the market. Like you said, the 3% realtor fees. What am I trying? I can't think of the wording I'm trying to. What do you guys benefit from this? Like by getting us out of the reinstatement, or us owing the reinstatement, and then you give us money. I mean, obviously you gain the home, but
what's kind of our what happens with us, or what's the benefit for us? Yeah, that's a good question. Quite frankly, in the short run, not very good. So any house that we purchase like this, we typically turn into a rental. Rentals, will cash flow a couple $100 a month, but as soon as you got to fix something, you don't cash flow anything. So really the benefit for us is just, we hold it for a long time and hopefully it appreciates. And then we also get, the tax benefits of we're full-time real estate people, so we can, do a cost segregation on the house, which doesn't affect y'all or have anything to do with y'all, but it lowers our tax implication. So really just turning it into a rental and, hoping that the world doesn't end and houses continue to appreciate.
Yeah, because a rental would definitely make money for sure off that house and location and everything. I mean, it just, I believe everything you're saying. It just sounds
too good to be true.
Saying sounds too good to be true.
Well, what I was gonna get at too is, I know it probably does sound too good to be true. I'll send you all. I think I might have texted you our website. We buy typically about 50 to 60 houses a year, primarily in DFW, Houston and San Antonio too. So I'll send you our information, and I can send you actual closing statements of houses that we've purchased this year doing it this way. We are local. I mean, we'd eventually get to the house and go grab pictures and have some of our contractors go by if everything makes sense. What I was going to say is we really would need to figure out the most important thing is the mortgage. I'd be kind of interested to see a mortgage statement, just because if it's a 3% interest rate, that payment seems, and I know you did the payment plan, it seems kind of high, which sometimes that happens if there's like forced placed insurance. So what happens with your mortgage is obviously the taxes and insurance are escrowed, meaning they're added to your monthly mortgage. And if payments get behind, sometimes the insurance that you chose when you purchased the house will actually get canceled because it's not being paid. And the mortgage company will put in what's called forced placed insurance, meaning like you have to have insurance on a house. And so if it wasn't being paid, the mortgage company will put in insurance, and 99% of the time that insurance is insanely expensive, which can get people.
That could be the situation. And honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, it used to be nationwide with the home insurance. It used to be nationwide, and then I started that repayment plan back in August of 2025, and I think that August was the first month that I paid the $38.52. But I do know that the mortgage then was supposed to be 25 or 27, somewhere around there. So I was literally paying like $1,200 more than what the mortgage was supposed to be. So I thought that was a whole lot, but I mean, I paid it up until I didn't, but it was like $1,200 more than what it was supposed to be.
Do you remember what the payment was like 3 or 4 years ago, or has it just kind of consistently increased a little bit over time?
No, it didn't increase. I was paying $27 26, 27, because I became 100% disabled veteran back in like 2023,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, and it dropped the mortgage to 20. I want to say 27. I feel like I've been paying 38.52 for so long. I don't even remember
Yeah.
what it was
Yeah.
before then, because that's the number that's just stuck in my head now, 38.52. But I want to say it was around 2,700 with no property taxes, 25 or 27 with no property taxes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the easiest way to kind of figure out what's going on with your mortgage is if you have a mortgage statement, it'll actually show you. So it's called PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So your taxes and insurance are what's in escrow. And so if your taxes and insurance portion of your monthly mortgage payment is like 2/3 of your payment, then that means the insurance is completely whack, which we can fix when we purchase it. But I would, just to see what we would be able to get you cash in your pocket in addition to the reinstatement, I'd kind of have to figure out what that breakdown of the payment looks like. Just because, like, if it doesn't cash flow really, then we kind of have to manipulate some numbers to make that work, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
What other questions did you have?
Nothing really. I mean, you've been pretty informative. I don't have a lot of questions. Maybe we can, I don't know if you guys are in the office tomorrow for another call. Me and Monisha will, I guess, talk about, this. But, I mean, it sounds like the way for us to go, just being honest with you.
Yeah.
That way we can get back on the right track. And then, I like I said, I don't know the amount of money you guys are willing to give us, but obviously anything would go towards like whatever the future, plans are.
Yeah, of
as
course.
far as like living arrangements. So yeah, I mean it sounds good, just being honest with you. But we can probably talk about it and get back with you very soon, because we are on a time frame. And just to clarify, the attorneys that are calling that are actually, drawing at the foreclosure and want the money and all of that, it's not really necessary for us to contact them anymore if we decide to just work through you for this. Or
yeah, it's a little bit confusing the way it all works. The attorneys that are contacting you, I don't know. I'm sure if you showed me whatever they're sending you, it's almost, there's like 3 or 4 trustees that do most of these foreclosures. So they're not really attorneys in a sense of like they're coming after you. It's what happens is, who's the mortgage company?
Loan Care.
Loan Care. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Loan Care is huge. So what happens is, in Texas, after 3 months of missed payments, the Loan Care, or whoever the mortgage company is for anyone else, can start the foreclosure process. And so what they do is they hire a trustee, the trustee's an attorney, and they write up that foreclosure notice that gets posted to the county website. They charge, a couple $1,000s, and they tack that onto your reinstatement. And what they do is if nothing's done, meaning you guys like don't pay off the house, you just do nothing and the house gets foreclosed on, and you actually go to the Tarrant County Courthouse on October 6th, that trustee is the one who takes care of the sale. So they're really just representing mortgage companies in a sense of like they write up documents and then they take care of foreclosure sales. They're kind of like a middleman between the foreclosure and that mortgage company.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm working tomorrow. Whatever time y'all can get on the phone, what would work best for both of y'all after you obviously have some conversations tonight and tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow I'm not available until about the same time as today, about 5:15 ish.
Hmm. Okay. Um, does that work for you too?
But
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can make 5:15 work. I have a yeah, that'll be my appointment before that should be done by then, so that'll work.
Okay.
Let me do this. Let me put it on the calendar. It'll actually text you. Let me do this before I forget. Um, 5:15. It'll shoot you a text message too. Okay, 7.
and then because I merged his call, do you want to take down his number also?
Yep, I can do that.